Good morning. I finally showered. If you have not yet watched yesterday's video, I would recommend you go watch it. Democrats have learned nothing. I talk about how I haven't showered for a few days and I haven't changed my clothes and how I need a real job, but this economy sucks and Democrats are the biggest obstacle to social progress we currently face. They're the biggest obstacle to generating social solidarity. The actual biggest obstacle is, in fact, our fascist government that I have been screaming about for decades. And so, while I say these things and I make these videos, I want to not come across as gloating about it. The sad truth, the sad reality is that it sucks to be right in this instance. It sucks analyzing data that leads you to a conclusion that your government is dystopianly totalitarian and they have extraordinarily authoritarian objectives for the future of the planet. That sucks. That to internalize the amount of evil that exists in the world and to process and synthesize it absolutely sucks. Which I believe is a large reason why a lot of people avoid doing it. Why a lot of people, when they experience that first little bout of serious cognitive dissonance, why they put their head back in the sand, or why they plug themselves back into the matrix. And these are metaphors, but we can talk about things like addictions, why people have various addictions, these outlets, these distractions from reality. In a previous video, I don't remember exactly which one. I think it was the one Most People Are Idiots. I laid out the case that a majority of people are existing in the most distracted way they can that allows them to still participate in society and within a social group that will accept them for their intensely distracted self. I think the Matrix, it's so good at not only dividing us, but distracting us. And then these distractions and addictions become weapons for the social engineers. Humans are relatively easy to hack. When you understand biology and psychology, you can hack humans. In addition to the fact that they're literally trying to put chips in our brains so they can literally hack us in a digital sense as well. So right now, we're just being hacked in an analog fashion, you could say. Analog being sort of the precursor to digital. So those of us who don't have chips and everything, we're still able to be manipulated. And if you don't believe me, it's still coming out, but I would really, really recommend that you pursue what is going on with the USAID. USAID is actually what it is, but the uncovering of extreme amounts of fraud and corruption and literal payments for propaganda distribution. I think one example, Politico received millions of dollars, but they are not at all the only one. That's just one that comes to mind right now. And so when I use the word fascism, I'm intentional, but it's true. The government, let's just walk through this one example, maybe two or three, we'll see. I had no script for the video. 5 minutes in, I'm loving how it's going. Please, actually, let me implore you to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you care about the future, if you care about coalition building, which is what we need to do right now, we're not going to agree on a lot, but we need to agree on enough to fight the beast, the fascist machine that has been building around us for generations. The unveiling, the lifting of the veil, as the spiritual community calls it, they're not revealing new things. These are very old systems, very, very old systems, and families that are perpetuating it, but that's a whole different thing. Okay, let me get back to the point. The government takes money from people like you and I at the threat of gunpoint or violence, with the threat of violence, if you do not pay your taxes and they come after you and you continue to refuse, men with guns will come take you and put you in jail. So the threat of violence and imprisonment is hoisted upon you. So you give the government money, and then they take that money, fake money, by the way, like fake money that they have a monopoly on the creation and issuance of. Thank goodness for Bitcoin. I hope it's real. Anyways, okay. They take your money, and then they give your money to propagandists in the media to then disseminate fake information, information that will incite people emotionally, trigger them. Fear porn. You've heard that term, I'm sure. But it's not, it's fear porn. And so they take your money against your will to then use your money to manipulate you and your neighbors. So that way you fight amongst each other. So that way you do not come together and realize that you're being manipulated and fight the manipulators. That's quite literally fascism. Like, I don't love Donald Trump. I think it's kind of cool to be a part of this time in history. I made a video about how he is a very Abraham Lincoln-esque figure. Go watch that video. It was after his first attempted assassination. Anyways, but I don't like him. I think he's an oligarch. Oh, absolutely. But his desire to leave behind a legacy as a populist oligarch is fueling a lot of his efforts currently. Unfortunately, I think he has blind spots. We all do. We're hackable humans, right? He has an ego just like the rest of us. The ruling class above him that's pulling the strings, I think they have found their way to utilize him. They have found their new path forward, and I believe it's through Elon Musk, to usher in their new technocratic, feudalistic, one world government, their new world order. Those are their words. You can hear Bush say it himself. You can hear Obama say it. You can hear them say it. That is their goal. You can look at things like Agenda 2030. You can look at the World Economic Forum's sustainable developmental goals, all these things that essentially are just ways for the elites to consolidate power and control resources. That's all this is. It's truly not, what is the best system of government for people to rule people? It's, how can we continue to hoard wealth? And the best way to hoard wealth is to control the flow of wealth, all while taking your cut rent seeking, which is what the elite class is. They're so good at rent seeking. Look into what rent seeking is and look at all the ways that these people who don't actually work for a living generate exorbitant amounts of money. And so in my past videos, I very much have been passionate, indignant, angry, things that maybe could have come across as like, I told you so or whatnot, or that's not the message I want to have moving forward. It's not a gloating message. It is very much a somber call to action. I come to you very, very sad and depressed. I'm smiling. That's how I cope. It's really not good. I need to develop better coping mechanisms in awkward situations. And you smile, it's like, but this is serious. And the very small part of me that feels vindicated is vastly overshadowed by the part of me that feels overwhelmed and uncertain of how to proceed and how to move forward. So I know I'm on the right path, but I don't know what to do to move forward. And a lot of you feel that way. I totally get it. But going back to what I said earlier, the key is coalition building. We need to bring all these communities together. And when I say these communities, I lurk in all these different communities, like the conscious community, and I have conservative friends, and I even have some liberal commie friends, but that's the smallest community I think we have, because I believe they're the biggest community generating the resistance that is preventing us from progressing. And so if you see this, please send this video to someone who is left-leaning, or even center-left, and just implore them, beg them to open their mind and see that their neighbor is not their enemy. It is the ruling class. And the data is being exposed. How we move forward at this moment is crucial. It is so crucial because we have a very small window. We really do. And now is the time. This is a long video. I really appreciate anyone who watches it. Thank you very much. Much love.